Hi there, thanks for joining my live stream. It's going to be a little bit slow to start. I realized that this tripod I have you guys on is going to move too much whenever this gets busy cutting. So I'm going to go find my other tripod, but I am here. Go ahead and ask questions or talk amongst yourselves. Okay, sorry to do this during the live stream. Just close your eyes for 1 second. I'm really sorry. Close your eyes, because this is gonna get crazy. I didn't think about the table moving and the ScanNCut moving and stuff while it was cutting, and I just know that was gonna give you guys more of a headache than me fixing it right now real quick. So let's just jump right in. I'm so excited. So this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I picked up one of these plaques, but you can just use a piece of wood or whatever it is that you have. I really wanted a piece of wood, but I didn't have a piece of wood, and this came already with the thing done and everything, so I don't have to do anything. I have to pull that part off. I did get it at Walmart. I don't know if you can see that. And I think it was max $3. I got these little charms to go underneath it. They're wooden and they have the holes already pre-drilled. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make the word birthdays, and then we're gonna do January, February, March, April, you know, the whole 12 months of the year. Then I'm gonna drill holes in all of those, use S-hooks and maybe beads and stuff. I'm not gonna do this part on screen because it's gonna have my family birthdays and stuff like that on it. But I'm just telling you what my intentions are to get to that point. Today we're just gonna cut contact paper to put onto this that says birthdays. And we're doing this, and I'm kind of gonna be ramping up my live streams about the ScanNCut because a lot of people in my ScanNCut group haven't even opened their machines yet, or they've opened it once and then stopped. They don't want to play with it because they aren't really getting a handle on it, or they mess up something the first time. So I just kind of want to hold everybody's hand through it. And if you already know how all this stuff works, you know, just go get something to drink. I won't take it personal. Okay, well, it's not focusing on this, but this is the plug-in that comes with your machine. It's plugged into the wall on one side for me. That plugs in right here on the back. There's only one spot for it to plug in back there. Okay? It's very, very simple, super easy, nothing to be scared of. When you're ready to go, you lift, oh, let me get rid of these. These are my scraps from our HTV adventure the other day that I'm going to go ahead and reuse. I just keep forgetting to put them away. All right, so this is our machine. When you're ready to use it, you just lift this up. Let's see how well you can see that. I don't want to move that too much. And press power. And then there you have your brother's screen that comes up. Sorry, so much walking around. And right here we're going to go to home. It's going to say the carriage and mat will move to the initial position. Keep your hands, etc., away from the carriage. The carriage is this part in here. I've got a bunch of junk in front of it, but maybe you could see. Here we go. That's the carriage. So we're going to choose OK. And it just does that. And if your mat was in it, it would have spit your mat out. Okay. I'm going to push this back just a little bit. That is about how scary it is to get your ScanNCut started. Open out of the box. So today we're going to use clear contact paper. And you don't have to use contact paper for this project. I just am because it's super, super, super cheap, especially since I found this huge roll of white contact paper. It's vintage. It was still in the plastic. So it has like all the old vintage rules and writing and stuff like that on it. But I got this whole thing. It was huge. And it was $5. So I use it for everything that I know doesn't have to go out in the weather and stuff like that. So, and it's really thin and it's really flimsy and easy to use. If you're going to use Cricut, use the Cricut transfer paper. Don't use contact paper. Well, you can for a lot of it, just not for the really intricate stuff. Use the kind of transfer tape that's meant for that brand usually. Okay, this is my mat. It's kind of old and it's not very sticky anymore. This morning I washed it really good and then I took the blow dryer to it to try to kind of heat up the glue. So then we have our little tool here to do the weeding. This is what I use. It's an embossing tool, but it's what I use on the screen because I don't know what I did with my stylus. Let me get rid of the stuff that we don't need off of the table. Hope you guys are doing good today. Thanks for being here. I wish this was a little bit more clear. I don't know why it's so grainy. I hope it's not grainy for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and so we'll make sure that we're going to cut it to the right size. So this is let's start up here because I'm not good at math. Okay, it's 5 inches tall, so we really want it only like 4 inches tall. And then it's more than 12 inches, but it's approximately 12 inches to each side before the edges go out. So let's make it 10 inches, so 4 by 10. So it sits kind of right there nice in the middle, okay? And we're just going to do family at first. We can do family and all the months, but I think that that's something that you guys can easily figure out. We could do it in another live stream, but I don't want to spend an entire live stream doing another project. I did a 2-hour live stream the other day, and it took me a day to recover from all of that. It was just standing over the table and stuff like that for such a long period of time, and all the stresses that went along with it. So with contact paper, you want the adhesive side up, the side that you want to see. So with HTV, you put that side down. But with the contact paper or adhesive vinyl, you want the plastic, the vinyl that you want to put on your sign, you want that to stay on the machine, or I mean, you want it to be facing up. I don't know why I just said on the machine. Okay, so like I said, my mat's kind of old and not very sticky anymore, so I got this scraper in a pack of 3 from Harbor Freight. And I'm sure Harbor Freight, they weren't more than $5. I'm frugal and Harbor Freight is cheap, so okay. That's all we really need to put on there. And then with the CM350, we do have to check our blade depth. And on the DX, I think that it's all, don't have one and I've never seen one in real life, but I believe that you don't have to mess with the dials anymore. So let's get this guy loaded up. Yeah, you can see how it lifted over here, unfortunately. Okay. All right. I think I hold on one second. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna go up here and zoom in so you can see the screen. Sorry about that. Okay. So we're gonna choose pattern. And we're gonna choose, oh, I wonder if there's already one that says birthday. Well, that's just silly. You'd think there'd be a one that says birthday, maybe happy birthday. Well, there's one that says family. Oh, this says happy birthday. Okay. We're gonna go down here, choose one of these. I think I'm just gonna go with this. It's kind of pretty. If I had taken more time to plan out this project, I would have created a file online, an SVG file of my own. This says birthdays, but I just want to get this done. My computer is old and annoying, so. Okay, so we have birthdays. Let's go to the edit screen and let's check our size. It's 1.88 by 8.26. So we said that we knew that we could go up to 10 inches in width and 4 inches in height, right? Sorry if you could hear my dog drinking back there. She's so funny. Okay, so we got it 10 inches wide, but it's only 2.5 inches or 2.28 inches tall. To make it a little bit taller, we're going to choose that button right here. This button makes it where the distribution is separate. So we're going to go to height and turn it into 4. Kind of looks funny and a little bit dramatic, but I'm okay with that. Choose OK. Now on my machine, I have to cut on one side mostly because I haven't taken the time to calibrate it, and I dropped it a few years ago, so even though sometimes I calibrate it perfectly, it'll still cut wonky. It didn't with the HTV, thank goodness, but it will probably do it with this. Our blade depth is at 1. Ooh, sorry about that. And I'm going to put it a little. Don't barely have to do anything. And what we're going to do is called a kiss cut. It's where the blade goes only through the vinyl on top and doesn't cut through the paper backing. Okay? Choose OK on this one. And now I want to bring I'm going to scan in my material to make sure that this is going to be right on here because I didn't put it all the way over to this side. And it's just a cool way to show off the features of the machine. Make sure you don't have anything obstructing the back of it that's about the width, or well, yeah, the width and length of the mat itself, which is about 12 inches. 12 by 12. Make sure that you have enough room back there for it to go through. So I don't know how well you can see that. You can still see it. Okay, good. So it brought my material in, and then as you can see, birthdays is right on the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up and over just a tiny bit. Click OK. Oh, also in here I need to reduce my cut pressure. I had it a little bit high because of the HTV, but we don't need it for contact paper. Okay. Start. Still shaking. All right, so it's finished cutting, and I want to apologize because I almost always recommend a test cut, and I didn't do it this time because I'm so used to cutting contact paper. But let's go in and show you guys how to do that. So you have your material scanned in, you have it placed correctly. Choose Add, Test, and then you can choose any of these three to do your test cut. I like to use the square, choose Set, and then it comes up here in this corner, and I like to bring it down here to the bottom so that whenever it cuts I can just lift it up and not have to lift up everything. So that just kind of is how my brain works. So I would have put it right here. In fact, we can just go ahead and do that. So let's choose cut. It's going to still tell us 2 minutes, but we're going to cancel it right after it does the test cut. Okay, so before it moves on, it will let you choose to quit cutting or to, oh, it looks like it did go all the way through. I'm not such a kiss cut. See, I should have done my test cut. Glad I messed up in front of you guys. Okay, well, that was a big old waste of time. Should always follow your own advice. If it's something you're going to tell somebody else to do, you better do it yourself. Oh, stop. Yeah. Okay, so sorry about that. Gonna cut another piece and keep moving. Right, I think I might have cut that a little small. Dang it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and scan the material in again. And, well, since we know that, what? You guys saw me change it, and then I put it back to regular one. Okay, so well under 1. Do your test cuts and also start low. So we're going to do that. Sorry about that. Got a little flustered about that. It is what it is, huh? Okay, so it's just going to do the test cut to begin. Oh wait, it's going to scan first. I can't even keep track of what I'm doing. Okay, so it's just going to cut the test cut first. And sometimes this can take quite a few minutes, and I know I got cocky before, like, I always cut contact paper so I know what the thing should be. Okay, that cut it pretty perfect. And it looks like it didn't move it, or maybe it did. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. I'm a little perturbed at that. But we'll just keep going. Click start. Okay, so hopefully this kiss cutted didn't go all the way through. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now with this part, we don't need the machine anymore. So let's take the mat out, set it aside, and then turn it off. Close it up, set it aside. Machine is not scary at all. The only way you can make your machine scary is if you go too fast and you don't take your time and you don't do your test cuts and you don't start small. Basically everything I did, don't do. So, because as soon as you mess up and you know that you messed up, as soon as you did, oh, I forgot what I was going to even say about that. Dang it. My dog is being distracting in the background. As soon as you know you messed up, you know how to fix it almost. But it gets frustrating because you know it's your fault and you don't have anybody to blame. And honestly, it always feels better when there's somebody to blame or something to blame. And usually I would leave it on the mat to do the weeding, but that mat is so not sticky that it would have been just like this anyways. So with the top part, you don't really need your cookie design or your little tool, this thing. But for the detailed parts you do, the insides and stuff. Be careful and keep like your poking parts on the parts that you're trying to get rid of. Don't poke the actual piece you're keeping, okay? Just poke in really gently and lift up. Okay, there we go. We have our birthdays. Sorry, I thought you guys were looking at what I was looking at. Okay, so this is going to go onto this. All right, it's going to go right there. And then along the bottom in smaller ones, which I'll make later, it's just going to be January, February, March, April. So I'm going to make those once I get off of here. I don't want to put you guys through having to sit through all of that cutting too. I just mostly wanted to help you get comfortable with starting your machine, seeing how easy it is to create just a simple project. With this little plaque thing or something like this, you could put anything on it. And all there's fonts on the machine, like they're not the greatest fonts, let's be completely clear, but, oops. I'm cutting too slow again. They're not the perfect fonts, but they'll do. Well, it's not the perfect size, but it'll do. Okay, so this is, the clear contact paper is used for transferring it. So instead of having to individually take that bee and put it onto here, we get to lift it off of the paper, and then it's going to glue itself basically to the clear. And it's okay if a little bit of it doesn't get on your clear. See how, I don't know if you could see that. A little bit of it didn't go in there, but that's okay because it's just a tiny bit. Okay, so you want it to switch from one team to the other. And that's supposed to happen really easily. But of course, not when you're doing a live feed. Nothing will ever go as planned. Okay, let's try that again. So now it's transferred onto the tape. Oops, there you go. Then we can get rid of that paper backing. I like to fold it in half and find out where my middle is. So it's right in between the H and the D. And I want it to be a little bit higher because of, this is really hard to do sideways. I want it to be high so that I have enough room to put all the months down there. So then you just take your scraper, and you should have gotten like a little spatula with your machine. I don't know, I think mine's somewhere around here. But it's really small and it's not strong and it's not it's flimsy. So I graduated to this, which is from Pampered Chef. It's fantastic. You can get them at the dollar store too. But the Pampered Chef ones, they're rounded, have this nice little corner. This side is flat, this side is round. So you can use it for a lot of different applications. For smaller stuff that you don't want to use this big thing for. So it's probably obviously off a little bit, but I'm gonna go with it because it's just staying here at my house for me so I can remember all the kids in my family's birthdays. I went from having a really big family to having a really small family, and now our family's growing again. So I'm really excited. I know it's off. I know it's wonky. But I hope you guys learned something today. I hope that you found that this is pretty easy. I found this plaque at Walmart and used just regular contact paper for cutting. Then I can just cut, if I don't want to do this, or if I decide that I do want to make a prettier birthday, or I want to create the design that comes out birthday and then all of the months, I can do that in Canvas Space. And I don't have much experience with Canvas Space. We bought ScanNCut a lot shortly after ScanNCut moved to the new Canvas, and I've never used the new Canvas. So, but I know that if you have ScanNCut a lot, you can create this as one piece, and I know you can do that in Canvas Space as well. So hopefully this was helpful. See you guys later. Bye-bye.